everyone, this is Julie Murphy, and this is part 3 of the videos in using our dime magnetic coupe and using our snowman / positioning sticker. And this is the part about what happens when you've been in the middle of an embroidery and you've had to change the bobbin and you've accidentally moved the design in the hoop and things are just off. So what I've done is I actually am partway into the design that I was stitching. I took it off, I moved it around in the hoop, and now I've put it back on the machine just to give you an idea of what we can do in getting our design realigned when we're partway through stitching. So let's get started with this portion. This is what my design looks like at this point. And I've put it back on the machine, and now let me take you over to the screen to see what we can do to get it realigned. So we're going to start right from scratch. We're going to go into embroidery. And remember in the prior video I had asked, one of the things that I try to do almost every time is save my design into memory, and I save it in the pocket of the machine. That is what this button is right here. So if we saved it into the pocket, we can go into the one that looks like a machine with a pocket. If we don't, we can just put our USB back in and grab it from the USB by using the trident. Or you can send it to your machine if it's Wi-Fi available. So we're going to choose our design. Remember I had said that once I did the update, my designs don't show in the colors if I've changed them in my embroidery software to Floriani. But here's the design I'm working on. And there it is. It does show it in color before I set it to start embroidering. So let's go ahead and set it. And there we go. Our design is on the screen and it's converted it back into the bizarre colors. I know that they're right because my colors are still listed over here. But now I want to realign. And if I started stitching at this point, I'd just have a mess. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to push the embroidery button yet. Instead, what I'm going to do before I start is I'm going to go into the notepad and I'm going to go to page 9. And I'm going to make sure that these buttons are grayed out for our background image. And what that does is it just makes sure it gets rid of anything that we had previously scanned so that there is not a duplicate image. So we'll make sure it's grayed out. If it's not, then just select the delete button and delete the background. So we'll say OK. We are still in our design screen, but not yet in the embroidery. That's why the button's still down here. So now what we're going to do is select our scan button. It's the middle one up there. And it's going to tell us that the frame is going to move when it begins scanning. Let's do that. And there we go. Let me zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. There we go. We can go up to 200%. You can see the design that I've stitched so far is in silver, and the design that I'm trying to finish stitching out is on top of it. So let's go ahead and use our edit button now. And what we're going to do is use our move. And we're going to use our movement keys down here to move this design over. Now that looks like it's close, but let me zoom in and show you something. Do you see right here the actual loop of the top of the ornament is not aligned properly, which means all these other little things are not going to be aligned either. So this is where we have to just come in and continue to just be patient with ourselves and use our movement keys. And now it looks like this is almost on top of it, but you can see I've moved this out down here, so it's now not aligned at the bottom. So what we're going to do is go into Edit, and this time we're going to choose our Rotate, and we're just going to rotate it 1 degree. And that looks like it's fairly close up here. So I'm going to move this down a little bit. Be patient with yourself during this. This is where we're really trying to get it all aligned just right. Take your time and look at the needles, look at the bottom of the ornament, look at the loop up here, look at the bird. So now that we've zoomed back out, we're ready to begin stitching. So we're going to select embroidery. And now it has taken us over. If I started stitching at this point, it would start our design over again by stitching the greenery that I've already done. So we're going to select our plus minus with the needle down here. And these buttons right here will help us cycle through our design. So that's the next portion. And that is where I left off. I have not done any of these circles. Now, if I had started these circles, I could then just work my way through, just advancing with the keys until I get to somewhere around the stitch that I think I left off. Once I know I've gotten it about where it needs to start, I'll lower the presser foot and keep stitching.